Hi,
Hey,
I'm Christy,
and I'm Jamie.
and we are the geniuses behind of
Getting
Getting Creative
Creative
3. In this post, or in this video, we're going to reflect on the project and just talk a little about what we came away with after a month of working.
So to start us off, we read this book by Bill
Reusable
McKibben.
water bottle.
Ooh, nice. We read this book by Bill McKibben, my favorite, called Earth, which you probably read about in our first post, where he talked about the power of the internet these days and how it has the ability to connect people everywhere and get information everywhere, and how people should start utilizing it to raise environmental awareness. So that really stuck with us, and we wanted to bring that idea here.
Exactly. And so, as we stated in our introductory post, the primary intent for this project was to focus on how individuals can change their lifestyle to make a global impact. But we discovered an inherent tension in that, I think. And the reason being is that during the course, we talked a lot about how individuals can make their lifestyle changes, but ultimately to ever enact like political will or to make legislation or to make big things happen, you need to be working in a big group and have a collective action. So there was that tension between the individual and the collective. And actually during the middle of our project, our professor gave us the feedback that
we needed to just kind of push ourselves to really drive this point home about community action. And
Right.
so then we did have to push ourselves, and we were thinking, how can we meld the two? Are they mutually exclusive? And we decided that they weren't. So we were able to consider things, especially in our Getting Food on Your Plate video, which was about sustainable food and sustainable eating. How can we take individual interest and put it into community action? So we talked about things like starting a garden. We talked about things like figuring out where the sources of your food is in the grocery store or in the cafeteria if you're at school.
Yeah.
And then we interviewed someone who is in an environmental action group on campus that is all about sustainable food initiatives and talked about the projects that they're doing.
I think ultimately whenever someone is considering how to get things done and considering just the nature of activism in general, you always confront that tension between what can the individual do and then what we have to do together. But ultimately, I think that we firmly believe that although groups are definitely necessary to get things done, those groups are all made up of individuals. And so we decided to target those individuals because our hope is, and I think that we've seen through some of the responses that we've been getting from random people on the internet that we love dearly, that we do not know at all, but we really, really believe in you guys. I think that we can firmly say that by giving tips on how those individuals can change their lives, and they will next, trickle down all that information to their community, and those individuals in those communities will then trickle down to the next community. So I think that really is successful activism. That really is successful education. And it all, of course, we're in a world full of lots of people, but individuals need to make certain actions that will then affect everybody.
And so we feel like these videos presented issues and gave tips in an interesting and fun way, an entertaining way.
Were accessible to the individual.
So we're hoping that this can become bigger than just a project that we have for school and go out, and we want to continue to make more videos, and because I think that through this goal that we had for our project, we've also learned a lot.
I think that since we only spent a month on this project, if we spent more time on it, then it would be wonderful if we could connect with some of the people, get kind of away from the computer and go into the community, and I think that's really the point of the internet is, speak through the airwaves and then get out there in the real world and make things happen.
So overall, it was a great project. And before we go, we just want to say, now that you have this new interest, go out and build a community garden.
You just got green in 5.